Okay, today we're reviewing Happy Place by Emily Henry. This book is about a group of friends who are meeting at a cottage that they used to go to every summer. It was their happy place. And this is their last time they are going because it's about to be sold. So, the main character is Harriet and Wynne. They were engaged and a couple, but they had broken up and not told any of their friends. So now they need to pretend that they're still together as to not ruffle any feathers, and while their other friends get married this weekend.
Yeah, tropes are basically fake dating, and the reason why they're pretending as well is that they are the first two in this friend group to like really date seriously, and they all had a pact when they were in university or something saying we won't date each other because it will ruin our friendship, yada yada. So they don't want to pretend or say that they've broken up because then they'll worry that the wedding will be off and it will like set this thing spiral into action.
Yes, their friends will be like, oh my god, love doesn't exist, maybe we shouldn't get married.
So they're very egocentric is what we're saying.
No, okay, I really liked this book, and I really liked all of the characters. I felt like, okay, this book struck such a chord of nostalgia for me.
Did it? Okay.
And I'm a sucker for nostalgia, and I thought she did such a really good job about having a friend group and the dynamics of the friend group and how those dynamics and friendships change as you become an adult, as you get partners, as you get married, as you get different jobs and you live different places, and like the challenges of like still maintaining friendship and still maintaining these relationships. And then as well as like Harry and Wynne, I guess like they have a lot of miscommunication is like one of the big things.
Yeah, I felt like everyone had a lot of miscommunication, to be honest. Like, I do agree. Like, to me, I guess maybe I had no expectation, or I expected it would be more romancy, where it felt like it was more a coming of age story with romance spice thrown in there.
Yes.
But the focus was actually not always on the romance, but on this friend group and their dynamics and growth, as you said.
Yes.
But, like, as you said, like, they had a miscommunication as a couple, but it seemed like the friends did too. Like, they're all, like, lying to each other and had these secrets, and they're being like, oh, well, you didn't share this with me, so I didn't share that with you.
Yeah.
But to your point, I do think it is, like, the balance of, like, finding your growth in place. Like, okay, we were this thing when we were young adults, and now we're turning 30 and we have a more complex life. So how do you like communicate that and manage that? And what do you tell this person, what do you not tell them, and all that stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
So okay, lots of miscommunication, but sometimes I find in books the miscommunication, I'm just like, like both of you just suck, and it makes me mad. But I felt like, to me, the miscommunication in this book, I didn't get that like feeling. Like, I thought the way she wrote it was very believable, and like it made sense in a way. Like, it was just believable and not over the top, but it was happening a lot. But like the way she did it, I liked.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then both of them, well, I think a lot of them, also had really low self-esteem, where like Wynne just felt like everyone around him were like they were brain surgeons and whatnot, and he
felt like the dumb one in his
he felt very dumb, which I was really related to. And then he just felt like he was nothing compared to them. And then Harriet was describing him, she's like, I just feel like he's so vast. And the banter and the sarcasm between the two of them was so good. So I was really rooting for them because I need the banter, and it was very funny.
Banter. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. Like, this was the first time I read a book by this author. So it took me a little bit to like amp up to her style, I guess, because it was very smart and very like well written compared to some romance books
Yes,
that we
yes.
read, that you're like, whoa, some of them are just like, wham bam, thank you ma'am, here we are.
Yeah.
Well, like this one, like, yeah, there was plot, and
There was plot.
it wasn't also fantasy, which we read a lot of, where, you know, it's gripping you because of that fantasy component.
Mhm.
So I really had to like warm up to it, because it was a story. It was like a real story, like a real
Yes.
book with some romance in there. But yeah, I liked it overall. I think the biggest thing for me that maybe I didn't like was, yeah, just sometimes the miscommunications, and like you said in the book, like you're like, bah,
Yeah.
or I'm like, oh, I don't know about this, or I'm like, is this real, da da da, but
For me,
overall
it
I
was
liked
very
it.
real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it was very real. The spice, okay, I feel like there was not, you know, there was spice in
There was
it.
a
They
couple
were
scenes.
the spiciest
Yeah.
of the spice.
Yeah.
The plot was not spice.
No.
But it was good. I enjoyed them, and yeah.
Yeah, I thought like there were more cute scenes than like
Yeah.
spice scenes, but there were like maybe two bigger ones,
Mhm.
I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there was also, sorry, I guess we should say, current time point
Yes.
of view plot line, and then a historical, so it kind of went back and forth
Yeah.
between present and past,
Mm-hmm.
which I do like.
I
I
enjoy.
like jumping back timelines and
Yeah.
stuff to give you perspective in between, which I thought was really cool. Would you date Win?
Yeah. He was very, the banter, the sarcasm, funny. He was very funny. He sounds very cute. He's very endearing. He's, you know, handsome, and he's good with his hands.
Yeah, he's a carpenter.
Yeah. I would date him.
He'd make you a table.
I would date. Oh yeah, a really nice one. It sounds like.
A nice bougie table. Mm-hmm.
The only thing I didn't really like about this book,
Yeah.
is the ending. I won't like spoiler alert or anything like that. I just didn't like the choice that she
Yeah.
made around her job. That was really hard for me to wrap my head around, and I was like, really? So that's the only thing I didn't like. But everything else, like, I honestly teared up reading this book. The nostalgia, it hit me so hard.
But yeah, I think that this is a good book for people who maybe aren't used to like heavy romance or like smutty romance.
Mhm.
This is like a nice introductory book to a romance novel, because it's more of a story about just relationships
Yeah,
as opposed to romance or romantic relationships.
I agree.
Yeah, cool. Good overall.
Good overall.